If you care about opinions, you'll never be dangerous. Let me tell you something you don't want to hear. That if you care what people think about you, you are not built to win. Not yet, because dangerous people don't ask for permission, and you've been living your life begging for approval. That reality slap. Why your life isn't changing, your life feels stuck, not cursed, not unlucky, stuck. And deep down, you already know why. You hesitate, you overthink, you delay, not because you're lazy, but because you're scared of being judged. You don't move when it's time to move. You don't speak when it's time to speak. You don't commit when it's time to commit. Why? Because you keep imagining faces, opinions, reactions that you're living in your head and dying in real life. Every decision you make passes through one filter. What will they think? That filter is killing your future. Repeat button RE hook. If you need validation to move, you are already controlled. The invisible prison of openness. Nobody told you this growing up. Caring about opinions feels safe, feels polite, feels normal. But normal people don't build anything great. Normal people don't lead. They follow, they blend in, they disappear. You're trained to be agreeable. T.O. not offend. T.O. not stand out. S.O. now you shrink your goals, lower your voice, dull your hunger. You don't chase what you want. You chase what won't get you criticized. That's not humility. That's fear wearing a clean outfit. Repeat button RE hook. You're not humble. You're hiding. Why opinions feel so powerful? Let's get honest. You don't fear failure. You fear being seen failing. You don't fear hard work. You fear people watching you try. You don't fear losing. You fear looking foolish. That's why you stay planning. That's why you stay learning. That's why you stay waiting. Waiting is comfortable. Waiting gets no criticism. Waiting feels smart, but waiting builds nothing. While you wait, life moves on. While you wait, others lap you. While you wait, time charges interest. Repeat button RE hook. Comfort delays success. Delay kills momentum. Pain and discipline. What you've been able to discipline is lonely. Nobody claps for early mornings. Nobody respects silent sacrifice. Nobody understands obsession. You avoid it. You stay social. You stay available. You stay explainable. But dangerous people don't explain themselves. They don't update everyone. They don't ask permission. They don't justify their hunger. They accept misunderstanding as the cost of greatness. You want to be understood. They want to be effective, big. Difference. Repeat button RE hook. If everyone understands you, you're not pushing hard enough. The truth about judging. To let me break something for you. People judge no matter what. You work hard. They judge. You stay broke. They judge. You try. They judge. You quit. They judge it as, why are you negotiating with a crowd that will never be satisfied? Their opinions don't pay your bills, that don't build your body, that don't sharpen your mind, that don't save you at 2 a.m. yet you give them veto power over your life. That's weakness. Repeat button. RE hook. You gave power to people who won't fight for your future. Fear and judgment. And here's the cold truth. The people whose opinions you fear are not living the life you want. Their spectators, commentators, observers. They critique from the sidelines because they're too afraid to step on the field, and you're letting them coach your life. That's backwards. Dangerous people accept being misunderstood. They accept being talked about. They accept being alone because they understand one thing. Judgment is temporary. Regret is permanent. Repeat button RE hook. Choose your pain. Judgment now, or regret forever. Identity shift. You are not. I'll say this slowly in your head. I am not normal. Normal avoids risk. Normal seeks approval. Normal stays average. You weren't built for average, but you keep acting like it. You want elite results with normal behavior. IT doesn't work like that. Elite people move differently, think differently, suffer differently. They don't ask, will they like me? They ask, will this make me stronger? That question changes everything. Repeat button RE hook. The moment you stop trying to be liked, you became dangerous. That elite mindset lock in from this moment on. Understand this. Every time you hesitate because of opinions, you betray your potential. Every time you choose comfort over courage, you train yourself to be small. Every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you lower your authority. Danger is built in silence. Power is built in discipline. Respect is built after results, not before. Part 1 closing. Repeatable. Say it. Mean it. Live it. I don't need approval to move. Opening strike. Warm you. Let's go deeper. You don't just care about opinions, that you're addicted to them. And addiction always makes people weak. You check reactions. You watch faces. You feel moods. You adjust your behavior in real time just to stay accepted. That's not awareness, that's submission. Repeat button RE hook. If your confidence changes with reactions, you don't have confidence. That the real drug you're owing you. Think addiction is alcohol. Or drugs. Or scrolling. No approval is the cleanest drug in society. Smell. Warning. Rehab. But it controls your decisions. You don't post what you believe. You post what's safe. You don't say what you think. You say what won't cause tension. You don't chase what you want. You chase what looks respectable. And every hit of approval gives you relief. Short-term relief. Then you need another hit. Repeat button RE hook. If you need approval to feel calm, you're already owned. Why approval makes you personally control. People are predictable. They avoid discomfort. They avoid conflict. They avoid standing alone. The world knows how to handle them. Pressure them. They fold. Question them. They explain. Laugh at them. They retreat. That's why nothing big happens in your life. Not because you lack talent, but because you lack resistance. Dangerous people are unpredictable. They don't bend under social pressure. They don't soften under criticism. They don't shrink under attention. They stay solid. Repeat button RE hook. Predictable men are easy to replace. Mental weakness you were never. Warren Buffett's the part nobody teaches you. Approval addiction destroys decision-making. You don't choose what's right. You choose what's safe. You don't act on conviction. You act on consensus. When it's time to go all in, you hesitate. When it's time to sacrifice, you negotiate. When it's time to be alone, you compromise. And compromise slowly erodes identity. One small bend at a time. Until you don't recognize yourself. Repeat button RE hook. Every time you compromise your truth, you lose strength. Pain and discipline. The cost you keep. Discipline requires disappointing people. Let that sit. If you train seriously, someone feels ignored. If you focus deeply, someone feels abandoned. If you say no, someone feels offended. You avoid discipline. You stay accessible. You stay responsive. You stay nice. But nice doesn't build power. Nice builds dependence. Elite discipline doesn't explain. IT executes. IT accepts loneliness as the entry fee. If discipline didn't cost relationships, everyone would have it. The silent control. Understand this clearly. The moment you need approval, others gain leverage. They can withdraw attention. They can criticize. They can shame. And you adjust. That's control. Not physical, psychological. That's why insecure people are easy to manipulate. They fear disapproval more than failure. Dangerous people don't give leverage. They don't need applause to perform. They don't need agreement to act. They move. Regardless. Repeat button RE hook. Needing approval hands your power to strangers. Fear of judgment. Expose it. Let's strip it down. You don't fear people. You fear isolation. You fear standing alone with your choices, because standing alone forces accountability, and one to blame, and one to hide behind, and one to validate excuses. You blend in, but blending in kills leadership. Leaders separate first, then others follow later. If you can't handle being alone now, you'll never lead later. Repeat button RE hook. Loneliness is the training ground of leaders. Identity shift from needy to say this internally. I don't need to be liked to be effective. Read it again. Effectiveness doesn't ask permission. Power doesn't apologize. Results don't explain. Your job is not to be understood. Your job is to execute. The more you detach emotionally from opinions, the more dangerous you become. Not reckless, not arrogant, unshakable. Repeat button RE hook. Detachment are hard to stop. That elite mindset. Lock in from this point forward. Understand the rule. Approval is a luxury you cannot afford. You are building. You are sharpening. You are becoming. That phase is misunderstood. That phase is criticized. That phase is lonely. Good. Pressure reveals who's serious. Part 2 closing. Repeatable. Learn this in your mind. I don't adjust myself to be accepted. Let's be honest now that you're not weak by nature, that you've been softened, conditioned, padded, protected, and comfort did that. Not poverty. Not trauma. Comfort. Repeat button RE hook. Comfort doesn't relax you. It removes your edge. That why comfort is so as comfort is quiet. IT doesn't attack. IT doesn't shout. IT doesn't scare you. That IT whispers. Take your time. You deserve rest. Tomorrow is fine. And tomorrow keeps moving. Comfort doesn't destroy you fast. IT dissolves you slowly. You stop pushing. Stop sharpening. Stop demanding more from yourself. You don't notice the decline until hunger is gone. Repeat button RE hook. When hunger dies, progress stops. That social safety. The hidden enemy here is what really happened. You build a life where nothing threatens you. Same routines, same conversations, same environment. No friction. No pressured. No urgency. Social safety feels good, but it makes you mentally soft. You don't challenge people. You don't challenge ideas. You don't challenge yourself, because challenge risks rejection. You choose peace over growth. That choice costs everything. Repeat button RE hook. Peace without progress is decay. Mental softness you can feel, but can't explain. You know something's off. You start things, but don't finish. You feel motivated, but not committed. You think about change, but avoid the pain. That's not laziness. That's a nervous system addicted to comfort. Your mind learned to escape discomfort, not endure. The moment things get hard. You look for relief. Phone, food, noise, people, anything but pressure. Repeat button RE hook. A mind that avoids pressure cannot build power. Pain and discipline. Reintroducing discipline isn't motivation. Discipline is force. Force yourself to stay when it's boring. Force yourself to work when it's quiet. Force yourself to push when nobody's watching. That's how authority is built. Internal authority. Not loud. Not flashy. Solid. Most people never build it because it requires suffering and silence, and applause, and feedback, and validation. Just repetition. Repeat button RE hook. If you can't suffer quietly, you can't lead loudly. Why you lost someone. Aggression isn't anger. Aggression is forward pressure, the refusal to stay the same. You lost it because nothing demanded consequences, deadlines, threat. You became passive, waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for permission. Dangerous people don't wait. They create pressure on themselves. They simulate urgency. They act before they feel ready. Repeat button RE hook. Waiting kills aggression. Action rebuilds it. Fear and judgment. The comfort and fear work together. Fear says, don't risk it. Comfort says, you're fine where you are. That loop keeps you stuck. You tell yourself stories. Once I'm ready. Once it feels right. Once people understand. None of that matters. Growth doesn't feel safe. Power doesn't feel calm. Change doesn't feel polite. That if it feels comfortable, it's not working. Repeat button RE hook. Comfort is a signal you're not growing. That identity shift. From soft toe for P say this with weight. I am built for pressure, not comfort, not ease. Pressure. Pressure sharpens focus. Pressure forces decisions. Pressure reveals character. Stop building a life that protects you. Build one that demands something from you. That's where respect starts. Self-respect. Repeat button RE hook. A demanding life builds a dangerous mind. That elite mindset. Look, I understand this rule now. Every elite version of you lies on the other side of discomfort. Boredom, loneliness, repetition, doubt. That's the gate. Most people turn back. You don't. You lean in. Part 3. Closing. Repeatable word in. Comfort makes me weak. Pressure makes me dangerous. Opening strike. For to listen carefully. Fear of judgment is not a personality trait. It's a weakness you keep feeding. And anything you feed grows. You didn't inherit this fear. You rehearsed it. Repeat button RE hook. What you tolerate mentally becomes your ceiling. The real reason judgment controls you. Here's the truth most people avoid. You don't fear opinions. You fear emotional discomfort. That tight feeling in your chest. That heat in your face. That moment of awkward silence. You avoid action. Not because it's wrong, but because it's uncomfortable. And comfort has been your God. Repeat button RE hook. If discomfort controls you, people control you. Why judgment feels bigger than as judgment feels powerful? Because you imagine it lasting forever. It doesn't. People react. Then they move on. Then they forget. But you freeze as if the moment will define your entire life. That's emotional immaturity. Dangerous people understand scale. They know one awkward moment is nothing. One comment is nothing. One look is nothing. They move anyway. Repeat button RE hook. Moments feel big to small minds. Pain and discipline. Exposure builds. I don't remove fear by thinking. You remove fear by exposure. By doing the thing anyway. By letting the discomfort. HIT to by staying instead of escaping. AT first it burns, then it fades. Then it loses power. That's how immunity is built. Avoidance strengthens fear. Exposure weakens it. Every time. Repeat button RE hook. What you face shrinks. What you avoid grows. The truth about people's opponents. Let this settle. People are not watching you like you think. That they're distracted, busy, insecure. Most judgment is projection. Their fear, their regret, their missed chances. They criticize movement because movement reminds them of what they didn't do. And you're letting that stop you. That's disrespect to your own potential. Repeat button RE hook. Never take advice from people afraid to move. Breaking the need for emotional perversity you've been waiting for. Invisible approval. A sign. Support. Encouragement. That wait is over. N01 is coming to validate your hunger. Elite people self-authorize. They decide internally, then execute externally. NO committee. NO consensus. NO emotional permission. Repeat button RE hook. Self-authorized men move faster. Identity shift. Untouchable internal. They say this slowly. I don't negotiate with feelings. Feelings fluctuate. Standards don't. If you let emotions vote, they will choose comfort every time. Dangerous people follow standards. They act tired. They act scared. They act uncertain. Action first. Feelings adjust later. Repeat button RE hook. Move first. Feel later. Elite mindset. Lock in from this moment forward. Understand the rule. Judgment is noise. Discomfort is training. Movement is power. You don't need to feel confident to act. Action builds confidence. You don't need approval to move. Movement builds authority. Part 4 closing. Repeatable. Lock it in. I move without emotional permission. Opening strike. This is the point of an OR you are in from here on. Listen differently. Because once you see this, you cannot unsee it. You don't visit the elite mindset. You separate into it, and separation is violent. Repeat button RE hook. Growth doesn't ask permission. It takes territory. The moment you stop, there will be a moment, quiet, uncelebrated, internal, where you realize you don't fit anymore. The jokes feel empty. The conversations feel slow. The excuses sound loud. You start noticing how average people think, how they complain, how they justify, how they cope, and something inside you rejects it. That's not arrogance, that's evolution. Repeat button RE hook. Outgrowing people feels lonely because it is that why normal is so dangerous. Normal isn't neutral. Normal is a system that is system designed to keep people predictable. Normal wakes up tired. Normal lives for weekends. Normal avoids responsibility. Normal explains failure with comfort words. Normal wants company and weakness. That's why when you start changing, they get uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because you're threatening their identity. Repeat button RE hook. Your growth exposes their stagnation. The price of, and let's be clear, separation costs, less invitations, less understanding, less emotional. Safety. People will say you changed, but they're right. You had to, because staying the same was killing you slowly. Elite paths don't have crowds. They have distance. Distance from noise. Distance from drama. Distance from excuses. Repeat button RE hook. Distance isn't loneliness. It's focus, pain, and discipline. Walking will be nights where nobody checks on you. Nobody asks how it's going. Nobody validates the effort. That silence is not punishment. That is preparation. Because if you need encouragement to continue, you're not ready for leadership. Leaders self-sustain. They generate pressure internally. They create momentum alone. They move without witnesses. Repeat button RE hook. If you can't walk alone, you can't lead others. Killing the old. I didn't tell you your old self will fight back. IT wants comfort. That IT wants familiarity. That IT wants approval. IT will remind you of good times, of easier days, of who you used to be. That nostalgia is poison. That version of you was limited, small, reactive. You don't honor the past by returning to it. You honor it by outgrowing it. Repeat button RE hook. The old you must die for the new you to live. That the mental line you never cross. At some point, a line forms that on one side. Excuses, waiting, explaining, comfort, and on the other, standards, execution, silence, pressure. Once you step over, you don't negotiate anymore. You don't debate discipline. You don't argue with doubt. You don't explain focus. You act. Repeat button RE hook. Standards remove the need for motivation. Elite detachment. Emotional, dangerous people are emotionally light. They don't carry resentment. They don't carry guilt. They don't carry the need to be understood. They move clean, focused, precise, unburdened. They don't seek closure from people. They get closure from progress. Repeat button RE hook. Progress replaces explanation. The final truth about here's the truth nobody tells you. You will belong again. But not where you started. You'll belong. Among discipline, among standards, among quiet winners. But to reach that room, you must first survive being alone. Most quit here, not because it's impossible, but because it's uncomfortable. Repeat button RE hook. Most people quit at the door, not the work. Elite mindset lock in from this point forward. Accept this. You're not here to fit in. You're not here to be liked. You are not here to be normal. You are here to become effective. That requires separation. That requires sacrifice. That requires pressure. You're built for it. Part 5 closing. Repeatable. Lock this in your identity. I don't belong to average anymore.